Hey fans, welcome back to another video about the NFL, and this time we're going to look into something a little bit different. Can you name the tallest players in NFL history? Well, if you can't, we've got you covered. Before we start, we'd appreciate it if you hit those like and subscribe buttons and turn on post notifications bell so you can be notified of other videos like this one in the future. Now, let's jump into the video. Number 7 is Harold Carmichael. He grew up in Jacksonville, Florida, and he actually wasn't involved in football at first. In fact, Carmichael when he started college at Southern University, he became a tri-sport athlete playing center and was selected in 1971 by the Philadelphia Eagles and spent the next NFL Man of the Year. In 1989, he was inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and was inducted into the Florida Sports Hall of Fame in 2004. Number 6, Jared Veldiere. Because of his height, Veldiere played other sports before finding himself in football. He grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and he excelled in most sports and was actually named Most Valuable Lineman, and he played varsity basketball for 2 years as a center when he was 17 years old and 6'5". In 2008, he became co-captain of Hillsdale College Chargers football team. However, after the 2009 season, the American Football Coach Association named him first-team All-American, and in 2010, he was selected in the 3rd round by the Oakland Raiders, and he quickly excelled, giving veterans on the team a run for their money. When you're as tall as Veldiere, your height might come with some disadvantages. In March 2014, Veldiere signed a 5-year, $35 million contract with the Arizona Cardinals. He only played 13 games before being put on their injured reserve, or IR list, after tearing his right tricep during a game with the Carolina Panthers. In 2018, he was traded to the Denver Broncos during the 6th round. Once again, he only played 12 games that season before he injured his ankle. Finally, in May 2019, he signed with the Patriots for a 1-year deal. That same month, he announced he'd be retiring from the NFL. When he opened up about his decision, he said, "It was an easy decision because of knowing what my body was telling me, but it was hard because I was leaving a very good situation being with the Patriots." Did we forget to mention that Veldiere is also 6'8"? Number 5 is Ed Jones. With the nickname Too Tall, one could only start guessing how tall this former Dallas Cowboys defensive end could be. Playing football in the late 1970s and being 6'9", it wasn't something anyone had done before other than Harold Carmichael. He attended Jackson Central Mary High School and played baseball and basketball growing up. In high school, he only played 3 games of football because the school didn't support the sport until he was a senior. In his senior year, he participated in boxing and fought in a Gold Glove match and knocked his opponent out in less than a minute. In basketball, though, he earned All-American honors and multiple offers from D1 programs. In fact, he also received offers from MLB teams to play first base as well. He eventually accepted an offer from Tennessee State University to play basketball, but left the team after the 2nd season to concentrate on football. He became a 2-time All-American athlete, and as a lineman, only lost 2 games with TSU. He also helped the team win the College Football National Championship in both 1971 and 1973. Jones ranks 3rd in the school's history in career sacks for 38. In the 1974 NFL Draft, he was chosen by the Dallas Cowboys as the first pick. About this, Jones has said, "Going to a Division II school, being the first lineman ever drafted number 1 overall is mind-boggling to me. Here I am, a country boy from Jackson, Tennessee. The first overall pick made me so proud." He quickly became a defensive starter in the 1975 season, and 2 years later in 1977, he would help the Cowboys win Super Bowl 12 and to defeat the Denver Broncos with a score of 27-10. After 5 seasons in 1978, Jones left football at the height of his career to attempt a professional career in boxing, but after 2 years, that plan didn't work out, and he returned to football for the 1980 season. He then earned All-Pro and Pro Bowl honors from 1981 to 1983. He finally retired in 1989 and had never missed a single game. By the end of his career, he had played in 16 playoff games and 3 Super Bowls and holding on to that 1 ring. Number 4 is Jonathan Ogden. He came onto the pro football scene in 1996 as a first pick for the Baltimore Ravens for their first season and stayed with them throughout his entire football career of 12 seasons. Born in D.C., Ogden excelled in other sports in high school such as track and field, and he was an All-American in both football and track, holding personal records of 63 feet for the shot put and 186 feet for the discus throw. For college, he chose UCLA over the University of Florida because UCLA's coach would also allow him to participate in track and field in addition to football. In his sophomore year, he helped UCLA get to the 1993 Pac-10 championship and the Rose Bowl. For 4 years, he started as left tackle, and in 1995, he was a unanimous All-American, and his number 79 jersey was retired from UCLA, making him the 8th player in school history to receive that honor. In 1996, Ogden was drafted to the NFL as an offensive tackle, and he quickly earned the reputation as someone who was always smiling. Michael Strahan even commented on this. "He's a laugher. You see him, you think to yourself, this guy is not mean enough to handle mean guys out there in the NFL. Jonathan would rip your limbs off, and then he would smile and wave your hand in front of you. He'd wave your arm and he'd say, 'Hey, I got your arm.'" In his personal career, even though he was an offensive tackle, Ogden caught 2 passes and both of them were for touchdowns. Another accomplishment of Ogden's was defeating the Giants in Super Bowl 35 in 2001 with a score of 34-7. In June of 2008, Ogden announced his retirement after a 12-season career. At 6'9" in 2008, Ogden was the tallest NFL player in the league. He spoke about his retirement, saying, "The good thing is the relationship I've had with the Ravens. Sure, they paid me well, but I've also felt like I gave them something on the field. Of the players drafted in the top 5 of my class, I'm the only one on the same team. Everyone else is somewhere else. Either there was something wrong with their play or there was a contract dispute. But at the end of the day, both the Ravens and I have been happy." Number 3 is Dan Skipper. He actually played football a lot during his childhood and youth and received all-state recognition during his senior year of high school. He helped Ralston Valley to the state semifinals and was given numerous scholarship offers to college. He ended up choosing to attend the University of Arkansas. During his freshman year, he played in all 12 games that season and he blocked 3 field goal attempts. In 2017, he went undrafted, but it was rumored that it was due to a chronic blood condition that was discovered during prospect evaluations. As a free agent, he was invited to attend a Dallas Cowboys rookie minicamp and was a dominant force at the height of 6'10". In May 2017, the Cowboys brought him on as a free agent, but he was let go a month later. A few months later, he was signed by the Detroit Lions to their practice squad and eventually was dropped by them. And in 2018, he was signed to the Broncos practice squad as well. Finally, in 2019, he was signed to the Patriots practice squad and was part of the Super Bowl 53 championship team, but was once again let go eventually. Most recently, he has been on the Houston Texans practice squad. Number 2 is Morris Stroud. Because of his height of 6'10", Stroud played other sports before football, of course. Growing up in Atlanta, Georgia, he spent most of his youth playing basketball. He attended the University of Tennessee. Though he didn't have much experience in football, he was still selected in the 3rd round of the draft for the Kansas City Chiefs in 1969, which made him the tallest tight end in NFL history. During the first 5 seasons of his career, he caught 54 passes, ran 977 yards, scored 7 touchdowns, and racked up 18 yards per reception. He was also known to block field goals. In fact, during many field goal attempts, he would line up at the goalpost and try to deflect the ball as it came down by jumping and slapping it away. Because of this, and because of his extreme height, it led to a rule change. Goaltending by any player leaping up to deflect a kick as it passes above the crossbar of the goalpost is prohibited. The referee could award 3 points for the unfair act. And number 1 on this list is Richard Sligh. The tallest player in NFL history, he played college football for North Carolina Central University from 1962 to 1966. While in college, he earned a degree in biology, and he was on the Dean's List for high academic achievements. He was chosen in the 10th round of the 1967 draft as a defensive tackle for the Oakland Raiders. He only played 8 games, though. He did, however, win a championship in 1967 and became a reserve for the Raiders in Super Bowl II. In 1968, he was chosen by the expansion Cincinnati Bengals in the AFL allocation draft prior to the regular season. When he retired, he stood at 7 feet tall. Were you expecting these heights for NFL players? Let us know down in the comments below what you thought and give us your ideas on other videos you'd like to see from us. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss another fascinating NFL list like this one in the future.